What is up, guys? It's Adam, a.k.a. Marf, and this is Marfoogle News, the only call-in show somewhere. We're going to come back and talk about COVID-19 and everything regarding it. We'll be right back right after this. Remember, nothing in the show should be considered legal, medical, or financial advice. The views of the callers can differ considerably and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of myself, Dex, or anyone else who helps the show. You should always do your own research and consult with professionals. The internet is full of fake news, so please take everything with a grain of salt. All right. What is going on, guys? It's Adam, a.k.a. Marf, and this is Marfoogle News. Tonight, we're going to talk about a whole range of subjects. There's obviously some very serious things going on. A lot of things that we said 9 months ago, 6 months ago are now coming true. People did not believe me at first. It obviously has become kind of a situation where I absolutely regret to say I told you so. Now, even myself, I was looking back at the shows we've done and the articles that we've covered. I've had a lot of people say, oh, he covers mainstream news and this and that. Yes, we cover mainstream, we cover independent, we cover all ranges of news. But on top of that, we actually give you the chance to call in. Now, if you've never been here before, my name is Adam, a.k.a. Marf, and then we have our main channel on YouTube is at 153,000 subscribers. That is Marfoogle News. And then our backup channel is at 110,000 subscribers. That is Marfoogle TV. Now, if you are watching me here on D-Live, this is where we do it live, and then we bring it over to YouTube, at least temporarily. Don't know what's going to happen in the next week, 2 weeks, month, 3 months, if that exists, but I do know this. Things are getting way more serious. And if you are sitting in a state that hasn't had these kind of restrictions put down, then you might be thinking, nah, it's not that bad. Well, once you're in the cities and the states that are restricted, you start to hum a different tune. So as far as everything that's going on, it is pretty crazy. So we're going to show you that. We back up what we say. If you want to see any of the articles that we are going to show you here today, you can actually go to marfooglenews.com, spelled just like the name, marfooglenews.com. You will see that everything is organized by thumbnails. So you're going to look for this thumbnail, and of course, the title might change. Right now, it is called Endgame. And then, of course, once you click on that, you will see that we have every single article linked. So we don't just say something without backing it up. We actually say it and then say, here's where we got that from. Now, if there's information from our military group, that is the only exception. And man, oh man, there are some crazy things going on right now. So let's see here. Let's see. We got a ton of stuff. Let me make sure to put that back there. Okay, and let's see here. Once you go there, you can actually see this, read along with a second device. If you feel like supporting us, on the right side is all of our products that we end up representing. A small commission of each one of those goes towards helping our channel. Okay, so let's get to Dex. Dex is going to be screening our calls. He is my co-host. Dex, are you there, and can we get a sound check?
Hello, Adam. I am here, and hello, Foogle fam.
So we just had T-Man speak, and obviously a lot of people were watching that. In fact, the most I've ever seen, it was over 110,000 on Time, over 145,000 on Fox, or it was pretty crazy. Every channel that he was on YouTube had over 100,000. So obviously people are paying attention a whole lot more than usual. This is a pretty big deal. Now, have things changed at all in Georgia?
No, I should say it's getting a little more what we've seen in other states. So like the county next to me has gone on mandatory lockdown. My county has not. We're sort of waiting on them. I think they're having an emergency meeting tonight to talk about it. And but yeah, it's popping off. We've got cases popping up everywhere, and we've got tents. I think I showed some pictures of that. I'll try and put some on my Twitter or something. But opened up for testing right down the street at our hospital. So yeah, it's kind of a lot of things are changing, but we're nowhere near like New York and you guys. You guys got it bad.
So if you've never been here before, I'm in Washington. So we had the first case. I found out some more stuff about this that I honestly, there's some scary stuff regarding this. And I love my family, and I am not, I'm not depressed at all. Let's just say that. So with everything that's going on, by the way, I was almost not able to alert you guys through Twitter. Twitter locked my account down because I posted a warning. Somebody posted something, and maybe it was debunked as fake news now, but it was a post in Facebook that said that the census workers or whatever, that somebody was pretending to be census and actually knocking on the door, full hazmat suit, and then stealing stuff. I posted that, and I made sure to be clear, like, hey, we should look out for this kind of stuff, and they actually blocked it for that. Now, first of all, I just want to clarify, the census is really going on right now, so I guess I don't know how they looked at that. I don't understand why that, out of all of the things I've tweeted, was actually blocked. Kind of weird. I've never had any kind of interaction with Twitter. I've never gotten blocked. That was the first time, and it actually just made me do a confirmation and remove that tweet. So very weird. And in fact, probably I should talk about the fact that, yes, there's going to be scams going on because of this. There's going to be digital scams. There's going to be phishing. There's going to be all sorts of stuff. So I didn't see what was wrong with it saying, hey, I don't know the validity of this. That was my first sentence, but, watch out for this. It was very weird. I actually know somebody who is doing the census. They are working for the census. They used to work in aerospace for Boeing, but got laid off about 4 or 5 months ago. And they ended up taking a job. They were told by the census that they weren't going to be doing anything. The office is closed. So this person thought, oh, well, I'm not working. So they ended up going to Safeway and got a job instantly. Like, boom. Safeway hired, boom, like that. I guess Safeways and stores that are open are looking for anybody and everybody that will actually come into work. So they hire her on the spot. Then the next day they said, hey, we're about to start and we're going to get you into training for doing this, even with what is going on right now. So she thought that was weird. She then had to tell Safeway, like, hey, I might have to do some other stuff now. What was weird is they're doing this right, but apparently it does happen every 10 years. So 2010 was the last one, I assume, since they say that. And it is really important this year. And I've seen signs all over. In fact, the city sign says, make this city count, Census 2020, on like a construction style LED. And I just thought, man, this is super getting like dystopian, just weird, because obviously we're going to be locked down. Very, very crazy circumstances right now. I just thought of like all the other things that are going on. Say if you were not here legally, think about the kind of implications that would have for counting, going, house to house. Apparently they're not going house to house. They're doing phone stuff for now, but that may change. And then they just had them go up to some sort of thing. Also, we'll talk about some other stuff here. I'm going to show you all of this. This is getting crazy. I have to heed, please mark my words. We might not, I don't know how long the internet's going to last. I showed you on Twitter that all over the country, or at least mainly the states that are affected by the National Guard, are going red with the Comcast map. So you'll actually see, if you go to the outage detector or down detector, that New York, all these states, and then in the middle of the country, there's all these places where Comcast just totally failed. Last night, my daughter was on a chat with people across the state, and their internet went down at the same time as ours. So if you get what I mean, they're literally probably 150 miles away, and their Wi-Fi and internet, all of it goes out. And then not only that, the Comcast cable. Usually if our Wi-Fi goes out, it's just our Wi-Fi, and then our cable TV actually continues. This time it was a little bit different. The Comcast completely shut down. People's phones. because of the overloaded network, because of people all on the phone. I was just told by the same person who used to do the aerospace thing that their priest actually called 911 and got put on hold. So even essential networks are being put on hold right now. Like the phone networks are not reading. We have 3 different lines with 3 different things. A family plan, that my wife has with their family. I've got mine and my business line, and then actually we have our daughter. So 4. All 4 of those intermittently different plans have completely lost the network. And we're not talking about the bars going down. It's saying that this device is not registered to a network. So I am just saying, and I'm not trying to cause anything. I'm literally trying to tell you guys, make sure to think in the back of your head what you would do without phone, without 911. You can't even say that nowadays. And think about what you would do without that kind of stuff. Even if you do, if you're in a state like mine, say if you had to go to the hospital, they're actually pulling up, Navy ships so regular patients can go to those instead of the regular hospitals, which are, of course, overrun with all of these patients. So there's a lot going on for sure. This is very disturbing, and I feel like it's a straight up warning. So we've had DHS in the past, in September of 2018, tell us that you need to prepare for 6 months to a year without food and water, or at least without power. So if you don't have power, make sure you have water, food. They said if our grid goes down, it would be 90% of us would be lost. And that is because the non-availability of fresh water. So they told us that back then. Fast forward a year and a half. Now, of course, this is happening. States are getting locked down. National Guard is everywhere. Which, by the way, they say, oh, National Guard, they're just reservists. They're not even real military. My feeling, and this is my opinion, is some of the equipment and the jets flying over is a little excessive for even National Guard. Like, I know National Guard has stuff. They probably have tanks. They probably have all this kind of stuff. We're talking about, 12 helicopter Chinooks going at the same time. I guess that's realistic, right? You're talking about tanks moving in New York. We've shown you video that. New video, too. People were like, oh, I saw this video again. When you look at it, you can actually see the clock and the date and time on the Mercedes that it was in. So, no, that was new. And then another film of those same tanks rolling in the trains. Now, there is something to be said about they move this kind of stuff around all the time. That's why I was asking to confirm, maybe check my Twitter and see if that's something normal for that area. Again, there was tanks that moved through Louisiana, and a bunch of people got video of it. They move around a lot, I think, right? But when people get video of it, when there's multiple people that just happen to have their phone out, when they get those videos out, a lot of people are concerned. I want us to all stay calm, and I want all of us to stay communicating, essentially. And that's what I said in that message that got blocked on Twitter. I said, please, let's keep communication while we still have comms. And that one got taken down. It was just very strange. Essentially warning people that we may lose comms. So, with that being said, there's a lot going on. So I'm going to read this, and I'm going to be careful about it because we are going to bring this over to the other platform. Department of Homeland Security memo sent to law enforcement officials around the country warns that violent extreme could seek to take advantage of the event pandemic by carrying out attacks against the U.S. Now, I know you guys are like, why is he reading it like that if you're new here? There's certain things that we actually know about get hit on the other platform. We want to reach as many people as possible. Now, this is a quote. It says, violent extremes probably are seeking to exploit public fears associated, and they say probably, right? Associated with the spread of CV to incite violence, intimidate targets, and promote their ideologies. And we assess these efforts will intensify in the coming months. So notice how they say that. They say, first of all, they'll say it's probably are seeking to exploit. And then they say these efforts will intensify in the coming months. I've shown you what we've done. I'm going to go through this real quick. This will take 2 seconds. Look at our channel. Look at our YouTube channel and look at the titles, look at the thumbnails. I'll show you within about a minute and a half, you're going to be like, holy crap. We were on it, and we did not know how close we were on it. Because of the information that comes in, the 400 active and retired military folks that come in here, it really is kind of shocking to see how much stuff we were covering before this. Just to show you real quick. And I'm going to show you months ago. And by the way, between two channels, for 2 years, we've been covering this. For the last year, it really, really, really ramped up. So I'm gonna full screen this here. And you can kind of see all of them on here. And I'm going to zoom into a couple of these. Now, we go back 1 month ago. Obviously, this is where, this is where we start covering it, right? I'm going to show you a few that's like, really? And show you the kind of the programs. And it's actually right in the title. These have been there for a year now. And it's actually really crazy to think of it that way. And let's see. Okay. 2050. You can see this show. In fact, let's see. That's the unlisted one. This one, let me play a little snippet of this. Let's see. 23 minutes is about where it was. If you guys want to watch this, we were covering it. Let's see. Essentially, we were talking about DARPA, and we talked about this back in August. We talked about it before this. Okay, so again, and if you look into the different 2030 stuff, DARPA seeks pathogen detectors that use CRISPR to run 1,000 tests at once. DARPA is asking researchers to use gene editing technologies for portable diagnostics that produce results in 15 minutes. Not only this, let's see if we can go back before, because we're looking for the kind of the headline that was here. And by the way, all of this is backed up, so you can actually go back to this episode 9 months ago, and you can get to the link. At least I think, yeah. When Dex came along, that's when we started having these, right? He was able to help me get this stuff all digital. I'm trying to look for this DARPA making smart suits. I mean, this stuff is really that creepy.
Are you looking on our site, Adam?
No. I'm looking on the video.
Okay, no problem.
Look at this. It's about to show up right here. Bam. We're going to see this. What do you guys think about cyborgs? Do you think, this might bring in a whole nother bag of worms, but as far as, do you think humans are playing God with this? Is this even something we should be doing? A lot of people think that it's not. They could be extending life. They could be doing all sorts of things. Now, look at this.
This is one of the main things we wanted to point out to you tonight. This is from nextgov.com. It says, DARPA wants smart suits to protect against biological attacks. We keep showing you this time and time again. They are doing so many things to prepare for something big. Now it says, a new program aims to usher in a modern military ensemble that can provide...
Remember, this is 6 months ago, folks. This was... Actually, no, sorry. I'm going to show you 6 and 9 months ago.
100% survival against lethal exposure. That's both at the same time. Exposure from multiple chemical and biological agents. It says the Pentagon's research arm, which is also a robot arm. No, I'm just kidding. The Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, DARPA, wants to accelerate the development of innovative textiles and smart materials to better and more comfortably protect humans from chemical and biological threats. It says, according to the recently published broad agency announcement, it says that DARPA's, or PPP, program to rapidly produce wearable technology that prevents threatening agents from entering the body and cutting-edge barriers that can neutralize damaging agents while they come in contact with people's skin, eyes, and airways. Quote, the current chemical and biological threat environment consists of broadly acting, highly pathogenic, and sometimes immediately lethal threats that are capable of entering the body via multiple pathways, including skin, airway, ocular, and gastrointestinal tract. Officials wrote in an announcement, quote, despite substantial financial investments in advances in the CB defense enterprise over many decades, current personal protective equipment solutions add logistical, mobility, and thermal challenges to the warfighter stability operations care provider, which place their missions at risk. So just to sum that up, just to kind of put that in simple terms, right now, the suits aren't that great. The suits then, which they are coming up with quick, and for whatever reason, they're pushing all through these things. When we look at all of the different things, the money that they're putting into this, it's like they need them now. Why do they need them now? Dex, now,
Boom. Why do they need them now? And then I'm telling you guys, I'm trying to prove a point here. I'm trying to say, I really want those new people to come in and realize that one is, yes, it feels good to be vindicated, but not in this situation at all, period. This does not feel good. But I knew it, and I told you guys time and time again. And mainly, I want from the forward going. I guess it's like, you keep telling people they don't believe that you have. They don't believe that you have sources. Think about this. Oh man, check this out. Remember Seattle mapping? The military mapping? Listen to this. Let's see. This guy? Oh my gosh. Full on masks. Oh, watch this. This is crazy. Okay, this is let's see. There's some unlisted ones here too.
okay, for the record, state your name.
Joe Parrish.
So, have you, so you saw something down at the market that was a little disturbing a couple nights ago, or yesterday?
Yeah.
What exactly did you see?
Well, from what I saw, it appeared as if the police department, the SPD here, it looked like they were preparing for some major disaster. Like, literally, it looked like something that worse than the WTO riots we had back in the day, man. Like, it was like 100 cops, probably no exaggeration at all, and they're wearing gas masks.
Do you hear this? This is November 2nd, 2019.
Like, they had baton, like, they were at all, and they're wearing gas masks. Like, they had baton, like, they were doing
What do you mean
drill.
by gas masks?
Like actual face
disposable
masks.
ones, or like the
no,
real
this
ones?
was like real set. They were geared up for something major, man. And there was no exaggeration. More than 50. There was like 100 of them, and they were up fixing to something great.
Now, for anybody that knows the market, you said that they actually kind of did kind of a mapping thing, and they went through Post Alley?
That's what it looked like. They were like preparing, mapping out areas and like something serious like that. They were literally formatting.
Keep in mind, this is only like 2 or 3. This is like 3 months ago. Look at this, Russian elites, right here. Let's see, Russian elites right over here, and I'll try to center it. Russian elites building Noah's Ark in space. What's on its way behind the scenes? And remember, we're trying to put everything together. Insiders, all branches necessary military intervention. That was, I have to look through that one. I still didn't get to that one. Look at this. 6 months ago, why does DARPA need a facility by August 30th? That's before the smart DARPA suits that evolved along with the biological agents. Look at this. This one over here. Movements are made. Did they get it right? This one talks about the super secret missions they were doing. This one, 3 states. Oh my gosh, look at this. This is even crazier. And these are all connected. This one that has the mosquitoes. 3 states affected. Don't go out dusk till dawn. This one talks about how they were practicing. They were spraying for these mosquitoes because of the current virus that was then, right? And they were spraying, and they told everybody to go inside their homes so they could spray to basically do this pesticide. I don't know if you remember, but 3 whole states were told to go inside. Was that practice? I don't know. That was that. So the DARPA was 6 months ago. You're talking about some crazy stuff here. World reactors being taken offline 8 months ago. Manhattan goes dark. New York, they did a grid down. The grid went down in one of the main areas of New York, and they said it was a fire underneath. Okay, we'll just accept that. All of this time, they had all of this stuff with Yellowstone. I'll get into that a different episode. Radiological screenings at the dump. Right here. This is 8 months ago. So what does this say to me? This starts to say that maybe they were expecting something. Oh my gosh. There was, and then there's one more here. 9 months. Look at this. Why did Kentucky order 40,000 of these? Right? All of these other states. And in this episode, we show you that everybody was getting it. Then they were doing mass Ebola drills, UN roadblocks. And this was after the threat calmed down. This was 9 months ago. Checkpoints. You won't be saved at this checkpoint. And by the way, we had to get rid of a bunch of our older videos because we were, I think, did we back them up, Dex? Mega cities in the works for 2025. What happens between there? In each one of these are 2 hours, and they all have the different, things. Travel Channel did a nuke. I mean, there was all sorts of weird stuff. And then you go back to January of 2018, and it is absolutely insane. That's when I started doing all of this, and I talked about the Hawaii false scare. Honestly, there are a ton of things, and like the current thing that we're talking about, they tell us in plain sight, and people say, oh, it's MSM. My point is, there's a lot of things that can be connected that you need to pay attention to. And it's just little tiny pieces, and they puzzle together. And no, you can't tell the future, but you certainly can get an idea of what you possibly should prepare for, contingencies, things like this. So anyways, you guys can go that. I know that was a long and off road. You guys don't even know. Some of the more sensitive ones we took off and then put on other platforms. We'll tell you guys how to do that. Again, if you guys don't know how to get on DLive, if you're watching this somewhere else, Dex J, if you just type in Dex space J, he did a whole video on actually getting onto DLive if we do the DLive only shows. New Jersey slaps a T charge, and of course I'm talking about this, on man over alleged supermarket cough threat. So what the guy did is he walked up to somebody and coughed on them on purpose. It says a New Jersey man has been charged with making terroristic threats after he was accused of coughing on a supermarket employee and saying he was infected with CV behind the ongoing pandemic. So it says George Falcone, 50, was issued a summons for threats in the 3rd degree and other charges over the incident, according to the Office of New Jersey Attorney General Gerbil Growell. So that's pretty dang crazy. And it says in a Facebook message to Routers on Tuesday, Falcone denied the accusation, saying didn't cough on anyone and never mentioned Rona. What is really going on here? That's pretty weird. Just either way, if he did or didn't. So, again, don't be doing that. You might end up on Gitmo. New York City morgues are near capacity. DHS briefing warns. This is DHS warning us about this, right? It says officials were told that the morgues in the city are expected to reach capacity next week, per the briefing. The Department of Homeland Security has been briefed that New York City's morgues are nearing capacity. So this is pretty nutso. Hold on here. Bam, bam. All right. Obviously, there's a lot of these kind of stories coming out. What we have to do is we literally have to make sure that we are paying attention and everything else. Granny C60, thank you. Says, thanks for keeping us informed. Purple 186, thank you. Mama Kitty, thank you for resubbing and getting that badge again. That actually does help. Thank you so much. Remember the story about stacked plastic caskets, J5N57. Thank you for the diamond. And also, know that we actually covered that. And Bones, one of our most trusted mods, he is a truck driver, and he actually went by and all of the black ones are gone, or I think the black ones are gone, but the orange ones are still there. So that Georgia place does not have all that they did. Debbie Jordan, thank you. We are the news. Thank you. We've got Lady Green Eyes says Florida Maquis proved by media we were lied to today. I will check that out. But not only that, they are releasing prisoners, which Florida Maquis talked about last year. That's why I say that not only myself, a lot of my peers were calling out stuff, and we were looked at like we were complete nutsos. Queen Fisher RN, thank you. CK Freddy, Molly McDowell, James Huff, thank you for gifting a subscription to this channel. Amy, RK Mini 70. Oh, I don't know if you had to change your name, but Amy R, thank you for coming and thank you for supporting us. Seriously. Carol Palmer, can't do as many subs today. Wish I could do more. Don't worry about it, Carol. You've done so much. I appreciate you, and I really do appreciate the supporters like you. Jake Rhett, thank you. Thunderbird, thank you. Mini 70, thank you again for gifting to Thunderbird. Mini 70 again. Chantilly Lace. We've got Lady GT476. Thank you guys. Kelly2334. I appreciate all of you. Jamie Olin. It's crazy K-Man. I wanted to see what Jamie Olin said, but I don't know if I can get back to it. Crazy K-Man, by the way, thank you so much. And it's already past it. So if I missed you, I'm sorry. I do appreciate you. I'm going to check in more. Tamiela, all of you guys, thank you. Marfoogle, I trust my Foogle's news. Well, the one thing is part of this is you have to put some of this stuff together. We're selecting out the things that we think are important, and that is based not only just on what MSM is saying, it's based on the messages that are coming through us, through our community, which I don't know if we'll have communication with too much of our community after all this stuff. I don't think people realize how much National Guard is actually doing. I'm going to try to get as much footage as I can. I can still ride my bike out. And the thing is, because you're not going to be able to drive, right? Or if you are, you have to go for essentials. Well, I can't really argue that I'm going to go downtown Seattle or somewhere else for essentials when I live over here. You know what I mean? I can't say, oh, I live 3 hours away, but this is essential. So I don't know what I'm going to be able to do. I am going to say, they say that press is essential. So whatever I have to do to make sure that I have my press pass or something else, I will go out and I will get that. I'm going to be as safe as possible, and I'm going to be fully geared up. That's for sure. Because I think that something is wrong with this thing, the whole thing. Hawaii, briefly under tsunami watch. I just want to let you guys know about this. We put this on our community posts. Make sure to check our community posts. We do often put stuff like this on there instead of doing a whole video just for one story. But this was very important last night. This happened off of China and Russia's coast. Underwater 7.5. They first said it was a 7.8 and then it was downgraded. That actually caused about 8 hours where we were watching for a tsunami in Washington, Alaska, Hawaii. All these were actually canceled, and I ended up putting that on Twitter after we found that out. But Dex, you were actually keeping track of a lot of this stuff, right? And then you said it just got serious at about 2 hours because the buoys went up, right?
Right. Yeah, it was kind of crazy. So apparently, everybody didn't know what was going to happen because of the distance. It's so far away, and it can be many hours before it would actually even hit, say, California or Hawaii. It's even further, like 6 hours or more. So nobody really knew, and there was a lot of people just measuring it, watching the measurements. The buoy started to move, so that was a sign that you needed to pay attention to, but we didn't know how many were moving and if it made enough to matter. But it turns out this quake was, I guess, deep enough that it wasn't, usually they had to be a little more shallow for them to actually create that type of specific movement, but it could have happened. But it just, over time, after about a couple of hours, everybody realized, okay, it's good. We're safe.
Yeah, because, the initial thing was the waves were way up. That buoy just went whoosh. And so that was kind of nerve-wracking for us. Wanted to say what's up. Andy, thank you for coming in, and thank you for the 15 lemons. Thank you for supporting other creators. I appreciate that. Zodi, make sure to check all of the creators here. And then especially if you see anybody that has any kind of thing by their name, most of the time, if it's a check mark or a gold check mark, that means they're creators. Make sure to welcome them and be nice to them because they put in their work, and who knows how hard life is for everybody right now. Amy R., thank you for the Ninja Guinea. Need to focus on what comes next. I think we need to be positive. Okay. James Huff, I appreciate you. I want to say this, though. Has it been, I don't know about you, Dex, we talk offline. It is very easy to get depressed. They've even done papers on this about how during a pandemic, we can actually we feel grief. That is the feeling, that impending doom that we're all feeling. You're not alone. We all feel it. And I think that some of us, it comes out a little bit more. One of our friends was diagnosed with CV, and on the day before, he said that the day before he was diagnosed, he said he was just crying the whole day. It was just this depression. And then he's actually the one that shared that with us, essentially saying that studies say that we have grief. We actually feel grief during this. The entire world is under the same situation. So as weird as like Madonna's signaling or whatever, her weird video in the bathtub, it is pretty true. Like, I know people that are being affected by this that are extremely rich, extremely poor. She was weird and saying it's the equalizer. Super weird. I might show you that some other time. I don't want to get a copyright. But again, this is a very strange scenario. We are all feeling that way. Get past it. Let's get pumped up. Let's listen to our favorite music. Even if we were guaranteed going to die next week, then let's have fun. Let's love the people around. If you spent the entire time before the end, if you knew exactly when you were going to die, say the meteor was going to hit Earth, why would you want to mope that whole time? That's why I say have fun. And, be safe, have fun. We'll get through this. If we don't, then it's our time. We got to get used to that. CV update. Kumo says that the rate of virus has increased. We're not slowing it. So if you're watching the replay of this, you probably didn't notice, but we actually did get cut completely. I do foresee this happening more often. Everybody's overloaded the internet. How many people did we have watching it? Is it something like that? Maybe it's a platform. Dex, do you know?
Yeah, we were well over 5,000, maybe 6,000 last time I looked.
Okay. So we're back, hopefully, if we're on live again. Let's see. Hopefully you guys are still there. A Squirrel, thank you for the month. Well, thank you for receiving, I guess. Thank you for being here. 1A Squirrel. I love that Mini 70 and all these folks, Kelly, all of you guys that basically see new people and welcome them. Even if you don't gift them subs, just welcome them and say hi. You have to understand, like, new people are walking into this and they have nobody, they don't know anybody. Make sure to make them feel like they're at home. Our whole vibe here is that if you're in chat, that you talk to each other, and even if you are, totally on opposite ends, find your common ground. We need to be close right now. We have common enemies that are way, way above our head, and we don't need to be down on the ground fighting for cheese. Okay? So, anyways, Amy, aka Mini70, thank you again. Says, love you guys. Stormy Weather, Sherry 7075, PMC 2020, thank you for your previous support as well. Savage Juice Box, William Dunham. Every donation is appreciated. I appreciate it. Okay. CV update, of course, this we got cut off on, but again, this is not slowing down. And for those who don't believe this yet, we've got a lot that we're going to be finding out over the next week. Just trust me, you guys need to protect yourselves in every single way. So, T-Man says he wants to open the country by Easter. And unfortunately, I'm sorry to tell you guys, especially the just downright said, people have been saying this. And you know what? The whole feeling is that's why he's doing it. The people that go, well, it's all good. We're going to open up by Easter. I don't know why everybody's... That was done. First of all, there's official plans that I've heard from military ends, supposedly planned for after this, after Easter. So I just don't see us not only being open, to let you know, from what I'm hearing, China is not back to normal. In fact, they've hit their second wave. And now they're telling us that the second wave is inevitable. So, again, a lot of this kind of stuff goes right back to the original country where they fibbed on their numbers, or supposedly fibbed. Just got to be careful what I say here. I know in my heart of hearts, and I'll say it on Twitter because I don't care if that gets knocked off. I'll say what I know about China's numbers, and I'll say what I know at least about that. They fibbed, period. People don't get that. People are so busy arguing about what this is, where it is, and who it affects. The old people thing, that came from them. That was to quell their own people. It's not true at all. Wasn't true in the beginning. It's something that they spun to make us feel better. Again, and by the way, him saying we're open by Easter, I know he's hoping to do that. Or maybe he's trying to keep our spirits up. And I don't blame him for doing that. He's keeping our spirits up. But this is the most crucial time. If you were the president of this United States right now, telling everybody they're locked down, and now it's state after state after state, in the next couple of days, they're going to have to do the rest of the states. They can't just do ours. They'll say, oh, now Minnesota, Minnesota's locked down. Well, they'll say, oh, Tennessee is now the worst place now. It's going to lock down. That's my opinion. I'm sticking to it. All 49 landlocked states and most likely Hawaii will be completely locked down. What is coming? I don't know. What is here? I don't know. But I do know they've got plans for everything. They have to do it in little chunks, and they also have to keep us calm and thinking there's a light at the end of the tunnel. So, understandably, every president has had to do it. Sometimes they have to give us hope, and I bet you he does want to open it by Easter. But I don't think it's going to happen, and a lot of my peers agree. The people that eat, breathe, and sleep this stuff. The riot... Go ahead,
Adam. I think the other thing that he's probably trying to push now is to consider: do we have the option to not necessarily do a complete lockdown of everyone and only treat it in certain areas where we can reopen parts of the country or reopen areas after they go through their time, or if they never get their time where they need to actually be locked down.
So what he said today. Actually, he put that in pretty simple words. Like, Texas or something, oh, they'll open sooner because they have less of a problem. I don't know which states, but from what I can see, mark my words, this is going to be 3 months. And I don't think, and that hurts. That hurts people. People don't want to accept that. They want to deny it. But unfortunately, I think that he's trying to keep our spirits up. On the other hand, I found out some stuff that I think tomorrow this could be solved, or at least one part of it could be solved. It could have been solved 8 weeks ago, but it's not going to be solved. So I'll leave it at that. Why it matters. T-Man is becoming increasingly frustrated with the state of the economy and has begun to discuss options for reopening parts of the country that have been on lockdown to help stop the spread. By the way, I get where he's thinking too. I get where he's going, and I hope we can. I really do. The less time that we're on this actually wouldn't be that bad. If this was a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks or even a month, we could actually bounce back from that relatively easy with a couple stimulus packages. It wouldn't be as bad as some of the things we've had in the past. That's why we're hoping to reopen by these days, right? Our kids out of school. This is not good for anybody. This isn't fun for anybody. I understand that everybody's having a hard time right now, especially servers and some folks that, they don't have a job now, period. It's just really, really hard on everybody. All right. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. If you guys have not joined our Discord, make sure to do so. While we still have comms, you need to get in your state group. We have 50 state groups, and we even have groups in Canada. We have groups in Australia. We have groups all over the place. I think we even opened up a Cayman Islands one because there was so much request. So again, get in these groups and make sure to organize and give a backup plan. At this point, it really is that point where you need to make sure that you have kind of friends and make sure that you have somebody that knows where you are and tries to keep communication with you. Especially if you're older too. We have older folks that are in our group. If you need assistance, please be careful about it. Reach out. We need to have everybody running their own group, having it, run smoothly. Make sure that the older folks in your group, especially if they have any kind of handicap or disability, make sure they have what they need. Make sure, and that doesn't mean you have to give handouts or anything. You guys can work together and make sure that everybody gets through this, especially if it doesn't last that long. So make sure to help some of our handicapped and disabled members if they do not have the supplies they need. Okay. Also, there's an exclusive military channel. That's where we get a ton of our information from. These guys message me on a daily basis. You have to be confirmed by another veteran who is already in the group. We almost did something where you had to recommend another military member, but we have too many. So again, make sure to get into this group. A lot of guys consider it almost therapy when they get to talk to each other about some of this stuff. We've had lifelong friends meet out of our Discord, which is now over 13,000 people in the Marfoogle Discord. Again, that's all at marfooglenews.com. Not only that, you can sign up for Marfoogle alerts. If we are going to send out something, say, hey, you need to leave now, whatever, that would be through that system. All right, and then angry locals in St. Ives, Cornwall, scrawl messages on the beach as second homeowners remain defiant. It says furious locals in St. Ives, Cornwall have written messages on the beach urging second homeowners to go home amid the CV pandemic. Londoners and people living in big cities all over the UK are flocking to the seaside and their second homes to escape the virus, drawing the ire of locals. The government have urged people not to head to the countryside. What? Not to head to the countryside with fears that they could be spreading the virus throughout the nation. What do you think about that, Dex? Don't go to your bug out spot. Don't go to your escape.
Well, we're hearing about this even locally. Like they're saying right now, so many people are fleeing the state of New York, right? That it's just going to cause more spread throughout other locations. So I get it. Like if you're in a small town and all of a sudden a crowd shows up moving in, you're probably like, hey, get out. At one point we were fine. And now, thousands of people are showing up, kind of like spring breakers, right? I totally understand both sides. On one hand, you're trying to get away, and on the other hand, you're trying to keep them away.
And, you know, that's the thing, though, too. Everybody does the bandwagon mentality where they just, everybody's doing the same thing as you are. They're all going. As far as from a bug out perspective, at this point, they have so much control. I thought about if I bug out to the cabin, one, I don't have any communication, no internet, none of that. What's to stop a small team? And they wouldn't even need a big team, like 2 or 3 specialists to just walk through. Done. If things got to that point. I'm just saying, like, totally thinking crazy and way out there, they could just go. I wouldn't even see him. Just done. That's what I think about. I think about, especially, and it's out in, it's, you know, there's no cell phone service, no nothing. You know, and, you know, if you could say, well, you got to defend yourself, have something. Even if you did, talking about, you know, military. I'm just saying, I think about that kind of stuff. Which is going to last longer? You know, would you last longer in the gates, right? In your little cells? Or would you rather stay a couple more weeks and then get, you know, I don't know. I don't know if it's that point. I hope it never gets to that point. But I think about that kind of stuff. And now we have 1 day left, actually a few hours. Today, after this show, I'm going to go get a lawnmower from my aunt. And that's because when we moved into this place, we didn't have one. Because it's the last time that we're going to be able to drive without having a permit or having something, you know, essential reason. So we'll see what happens with all of this. But again, I wonder if they would stop us if we did try to go, like, well, we live there, right? We have a house there. They're telling people don't go to your second homes. But again, I don't know. We'll see. Kelly2334, thank you. Gentle Moss, thank you. Controlled Reset, American Independence. AKA Mini70 says, just got 5 tweets at once from you, Marf. Yeah, I think they kind of caught on to that, the account or something. I've never had any trouble with Twitter. Gentle Moss, thank you for resubbing for 3 months and is now on a 1-month sub streak. I think you should get different color text if you get to 3 months. And then, yes, open lower infected areas. That's craziness. Wendella 12, I appreciate each and every one of you that's doing that. Thank you. Then we have hoping to escape CV. City dwellers are fleeing to California's deserts and mountains. But will it help? That's the question. It says just 2 weeks after Gina Grande landed her dream job in San Francisco, authorities ordered residents to stay home in a desperate bid to spread the spread of CV. Rumors of fistfights breaking out in grocery stores soon followed. Quote, overnight, the world took a sharp turn into the twilight zone, Grande said. I had to get out of there. So I made a beeline to my boss's office and I said, this is awkward, but can I please telecommute from Southern California? She hit the road that night and headed for a 3-bedroom second home she operates as a short-term rental on the outskirts of Joshua Tree. Along the way, a distressing advisory came over her cell phone. A client in Los Angeles just had auto booked the place for 3 weeks. I texted a sincere apology about having to cancel the reservation, she said. As the CV pandemic tightens its grip on California's largest cities, some residents are fleeing urban sprawl and seeking shelter in isolated communities in the Mojave Desert and rugged Sierra Nevada. Their hope, they say, is to avoid possible public unrest and limit their exposure to the virus. What's weird, though, too, is if you don't have it and you hide out, you go over there, you would think fresh air would be amazing. But what if it's... I always thought, what if it's coming from up above, you know? Wouldn't that prove it? if you were way out, you waited 2 weeks and then got it, and you were way out, away from everybody. Wonder if that's ever happened. Eerie photos and stunning aerial shots show what California looks like under Governor Newsom's. Oh my gosh. If I could show you, you guys should watch a video called Skateboarding in a World Pandemic. It sounds dumb, but it's extremely cinematic. They did a great job doing it. But this guy's just skateboarding. It's a skate video. But the music and the cinematography and just the sheer image of it is so absolutely mind-blowing. I think I'll show you a screenshot of it. Unbelievable. It's in Los Angeles. Absolutely crazy. So let me see. I'm not going to... Whoop. Weird. It's not even doing the right one, but whatever. What? It shows skateboarding in a global pandemic, but then it shows my video. Internet is not working right.
Dave Baczynski, Manny Santiago. This is Battle.
No, don't want to show your stuff. If you do see this, I was just trying to show a point. Okay, so this is the video, and I will say, and this is done under fair use. I'm not showing clips. I just wanted to show a kind of image of your video, Mrs. Barracks, Mr. Barracks. It is so epic. So very epic. It literally shows all of the systems empty. Just no one. And the guy is skateboarding around, and it's out of this world. It's literally out of this world. It's like a zombie movie completely. It's unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. So this is where we're at right now, and I'm in utter disbelief that it is this crazy right now. Bodies on ice rink as Spain sees record infections and perished. I don't even want to talk about this. You guys can go to it and you can check this out. Again, they're using the ice rink to put people. Obviously, it's gotten out of hand there. So I think that we all understand what is really going on here. If you guys would like to support us and protect yourself, this is a big deal. So again, DHS warned us in 2018 about a possible grid down situation. They have essentially told us that because this is going on, will not stop any kind of thing like this. In fact, they said that it might actually push up the risk of any kind of attack. So again, with EMP, this actually blocks against E1, E2, and E3 phases of an EMP. This will actually ground the signal before it fries your device. And again, they actually have their devices in DoD, DHS. In fact, the resilience report, the EMP resilience report that was given to the president, which made him sign that order to actually improve our grid, that mentioned EMP Shield by name. Not only that, now they are officially on the DEMSO team protecting the Texas grid. So this device is, there's actually multiple devices, and you can get one for different devices. You can get one for your car, your home, your motorcycle. I would say even if you don't go through us, if you have to go through a different creator, or if you go to their website, don't put our name in. Get one. If you have to go around us, if you want to go incognito, go somewhere and get it just straight from them, do it. You can go to marfooglenews.com/EMP. It's 100% American made. It's a veteran-owned business. And if you get it through us, then a percentage goes to us, and you save $50 per device. On top of that, if you don't have the funds, obviously a lot of people are hit hard right now, you can actually enter the contest. This is really awesome. Winners choose not one, but 3 devices. So you can get one for your car, your generator, your ham radio, your solar system, your car, your house, whichever combo you want, you will be able to pick, and 3 people will be chosen, and it's going to be chosen soon. Multiple ways to enter, including daily bonus entries. You can go to marfooglenews.com/contest. That's marfooglenews.com/contest. Even if you don't want to do this, though, go around us and get it. If you don't want to support us, support one of the other creators doing it. All right, and let's see here. Italy may set heavier fines for CV lockdown violations. This is... Oh my gosh. Sorry, guys, I just stepped on glass. Oh. And yes, I'm barefoot. I don't know if you guys have ever done that, where you're trying to like juggle or pick something up and you end up knocking over 3 things while you're doing it. I knocked over something, and while I was trying to pick it up, I did it in such a panic, I knocked over a crystal glass and then it broke. I thought I got everything, but apparently a triangle shard the size of my toe just went inside and just said, hey, I'm going to chill here for a while. So that happened. As far as the heavier fines, I think it's going to get even worse than this. I mean, they have military all over the place in Italy, but they're talking about some of the areas that are not that bad, right? It says Italy's government may impose fines up to 3,000 euros, which I think that's like $4,000. I don't know what the exact translation is. Violations of a nationwide lockdown as the country struggles to counter Europe's worst CV outbreak. It says a cabinet meeting chaired by Prime Minister Giuseppe Conte later Tuesday is expected to approve the fines and police powers to seize the vehicles of anyone caught violating the restrictions, which ban movements inside the country and shutter almost in all industrial production, which you would think they would start retrofitting some of these places to make something else that would help protect us. It says, according to people familiar with the matter who declined to be named discussing confidential deliberations, the current fine for violations is 206 euros. So about $250, I think. I could be wrong. You guys, if you have the exact calculator, you can put it in there. Wendella 12, thank you again. I appreciate that. Whatever the fine is, it's still a fine, and it's still crazy. And then taking their vehicle. So you drive, and you're driving over to your buddy's house, and then you don't have a car, and you have to pay. I'm sure that's actually, you know what? I bet you getting your car is more than the actual fine. Getting your car out of the pound or impound. What happens when all the doctors get sick? This is a thought that scares all of us. Thousands of doctors and nurses in Italy have contracted the 2019 virus. It says that American health workers have said they're terrified of getting the illness, especially in the face of startling and systematic equipment shortages. Some emergency room doctors in the U.S. have already tested positive for the virus, and other medical providers will have personally prepared for the possibility of infection, creating wills, isolating off parts of their house from the rest of their families, recording bedtime stories for their children on their phone. That's so sad. But what happens to an already cascading national health crisis when even equipment shortages are resolved? Medical personnel are falling out of rotation. Without concerted action to protect healthcare workers, experts said America could be facing a shortage when its citizens need them most. Erwin Redliner, director of National Center for Disaster Preparedness at Columbia University and an expert on U.S. readiness for pandemics, said there were 3 main ways to staff hospitals if a large number of providers get sick. First scenario is already playing out in New York City, where retired health officials, doctors, nurses, administrators, dietitians, and more were recently asked to join the Big Apple's medical reserves. More than 1,000 retired healthcare professionals and private practice physicians answered the call in just one day last week. So they're calling people, in their 70s, 80s, retired healthcare officials. You're talking about people who have switched jobs. People have switched careers all entirely. I heard one of my friends volunteered to go out there from Florida, went up to New York. They are, and that's another thing. What if we pay for travel for those who want to do this, but also have the gear so they're protected? So say pay for somebody in Texas or from one of the states that's not hit as bad as the others, pay them temporarily to go to New York, a traveling nurse, basically. We should be doing that kind of thing and shuffle around and then have them be the only people moving around. If that's, this is what's going on. I'm praying that this is, just a virus. What do you guys think? I would love to hear it in the chat. DMunos08, thank you again. Thank you for all of the diamonds. TruthStream Media does a great job explaining it all. I will check TruthStream Media out. Thank you for the link too. I will go back and hit that. Kishara, thank you so much. I appreciate it. We've got K Sakura. Thank you for being here. Amy, aka Mini70, thank you so much for gifting all those subs. It looks like you got Random Steve, Panhandle Prepper, Poco Loco. Got one from Jamie Lynn. Thank you so much. Gentle Moss, again, thank you guys. American Joe, what is going on? Make sure to support American Joe. He does a great show. He is a patriot. He's also free speech patriot as well. Praying for our nation tonight, says American Joe. Yes, I am too. Make sure to go check out American Joe. Snafu Snaps, make sure to check him out on YouTube. Q Rose 75, thank you guys. Thank you all for coming out in droves. It's only going to get worse. And we have to stay calm and we have to stay collected. So make sure to keep your wits about you. Let's see here. Okay, so this is the last one. As far as if you guys do want to help us, NordVPN is something that you guys should get for yourself, period. This is something that is going on right now. People are phishing right now. People are doing all sorts of hacks on people because people are desperate. They're doing robocalls. They're doing emails saying that you'll get sanitizer if you do this. But they're also hacking people's computers. NordVPN essentially places you somewhere else in the world. So if they're looking at you, you look like you're in Sweden or somewhere else. Not only that, it actually can protect up to 6 devices with one account. So you can get your kid's phone, your kid's tablet, your PC, your tablet, your husband's tablet, your wife's tablet, whoever. And an automatic kill switch is on it. It has up to 6 simultaneous connections, so you don't have to pay per one. And then, of course, you can hide your IP from the bad guy. They can't data log you. There's all sorts of really positive things about this. But again, during this last point where we have the internet, I would highly suggest it. It's not expensive. If you use our link, marfuglenews.com/VPN, you actually save a ton. You can save up to over 70% on the biggest plan. Why not? So, all right. And thank you. That actually helps us. Obviously, we are, this is us. This is what we do. So thank you. And then if you have not checked me out on Twitter, I don't know how long Twitter's going to last. I feel like once I do get marked, then it's just going to hit. But it is at Marfoogle. So people type in Marfoogle News, they might get something else. Just type in at Marfoogle in the search bar and you will find me. That is where I do initial things like this and always give you the link to the current show about 5 minutes before the show. Tamilia, thank you so much. Wishing all the best for the Foogle fam. Thank you for the Ninja Genie. I appreciate that. There is a lot of craziness going on. Okay, Dex, can you, we're going to get the phones set up. Make sure you can actually see all of these stories in the if you go back and actually find that. Wait a second. I think we did skip that one, didn't we? You can read the headline here. I'm not going to. Yeah, so some of this stuff is too hot for TV. That was me barely touching my toe to the ground, and there's another piece. It was 2 pieces, and I only got the big one. Have you ever had a sliver and just the tiniest teat? Most obvious teach. I touched it. The ground. Oh, it still hurts. It's still going. Throbbing. Okay. I'm good. All right, we're going to get the phones open. First up, we have Deuce. Deuce, you are live on Marfoogle News.
Hello. Are you there?
Yes. What's going on, Deuce?
Not much. How are you?
Good.
Sorry, I'm multitasking.
Okay, it's
Are
a
you
little hard to hear you, but yeah, I'm right here.
Yeah, horrible cell connection.
Yeah, it's really cutting
all I
out.
was calling was just to try to put out some food for thought.
You want to know what's going on? What?
As far as what happened back in 2001 in September, and they put in the P Act, and now we're trying to push through. I guess they did push through 1,400 pages of what I would call boilerplate. But I'm just trying to put it out there. It's like, has anybody looked up the Earn It Act, the Safe Banking for All Act, and then, of course, HR 5717? But just kind of putting stuff out there for people to look at.
Can you state that last one?
Right?
Can you state the H1 or not H1? HR. What was it?
Oh,
I got it.
HR 5717.
Okay, I'm going to pull it up so people can actually look. It is if you guys can read this. This is another thing. They make us check a box for everything we talk about. So if I even say this word, now I have to check it. I know that most of you YouTube creators don't have that. I do. It's pretty crazy. And that's only happened since this whole new crisis thing, which is kind of funny, right? So we can link this and we can let people know. What was that act you said? The Earn It Act?
It'd be like Earn IT Act, and that's basically the taking down any type of encryption. Basically, they have access to anything and everything.
Wow.
Anything that goes over the internet.
It says the Earn It bill is the government's plan to scan every message online. Holy crap.
Yeah, literally everything.
I don't understand.
Or not.
Why do we even think, this, do you realize if anyone's ever jealous of what we do, just know it's not going to last. It's not going to be around very soon. We're in the last days of this kind of thing, freedom of speech. Slowly, we've given up everything. It's sad.
Yeah, and it's frogs in a boiling pot, right? You just try to.
Why aren't people talking to T-Man about this? Why aren't just normally this whole year? Why aren't we should be sending all of our Congress a letter. People that have never even thought of sending their Congress a letter should be sending them a letter about this and saying no. People think, and you know what's going to really push this right into there is some sort of event that will happen, and everybody will be like, I don't want it to happen here. Yeah, scan it. I don't want it to happen here. Do you know what I mean? How do you think they got the P Act through?
Totally, yeah.
They got that P Act through because everybody was scared. I don't want a plane to hit me. Whoa, there's a plane right there. That could hit me.
Well, and that's what I've been saying is, I mean, you look at the P Act, and I mean, that was written, I believe, at least 5 years before it was actually, brought up and voted on. I mean, well, and that's what I tried to put it into perspective. This alleged 1,400 pages that they just voted on or re-voted, I don't know how many times I don't even know where it's at right now. But 1,400 pages, to put that into perspective, that's 3 reams of paper. So anybody who's ever worked in an office, so that's got to be close to like 8 inches thick. And you're telling me they wrote that in the last day or two, and then actually, had it verified. I mean, I know they have a ton of lawyers that are going through this, but this stuff had to have been pre-written.
Okay, I'll just tell you,
years ago.
You're 100% fact what you just said, and it's at least 9 to 12 months. I know for a fact. Not only that, the trials, all sorts of stuff. They knew. They knew something was coming. They talked about it. Yeah. They actually publicly talked about it. We told you. And that's why I say watch those warnings, because they just subtly kind of throw them out, and then boom, it happens. And then they can say, well, we did warn you. But they do it just so quietly, like, oh, you might want to watch out for this.
And I don't want to eat up too much time because I know you have a ton of callers, and I totally appreciate your show. The only other things I was going to point out is I had read, and this is probably 10 years ago, that once we hit 24 trillion, which I think we're getting pretty close to, that's actually the tipping point where you actually cannot mathematically you can never recover at that point. The deficit, the deficit outweighs what they bring in via taxes and who knows what. But that you actually, 24 trillion was a tipping point where it's like you can never recover from your debt. And I just thought, and I had read this years and years ago.
Yeah, no, I
think we're getting really close to that.
And wouldn't, if we do a free act where we throw a 1 trillion on top of that to give everybody money, don't you think that would do it? I think somebody said a comment. Somebody said a comment earlier. The reset. Yeah, that was correct.
Yeah. And I think that's what all this is about. I think they realize that we've reached that point. And I mean, and that's why I say with the P Act, I mean, if you actually look at what's being done, I see it as like the same playbook with different players. Remember Bush years ago saying the problem with T wrists is you don't know where they are, where they're coming from. I mean, isn't a V wrist that on steroids? Even we never saw this coming. I mean, it's the same playbook, just for a different generation.
Yep.
I mean, I vividly remember, way back when in 2001, I was stuck in Las Vegas for days.
Well, it's just crazy. It's already been 20 years. So yeah, no, I remember it like it was yesterday. It's so crazy. That's one day that will go down in infamy. And this is like a month long of that day, or 4 month long of that day. So I think we're going to remember a lot of the things from this, but this is so long. Well, thank you so much for calling in, Deuce, and I would love for you to call in again.
Oh,
is there one more thing you want to say?
Yeah, I was just going to go through it real quick. So in New Mexico, our governor literally said she wants everyone in this state tested, which I thought was very strange. Like literally everyone. And I was at a bank while it was being closed, So they closed the lobby. I mean, the ATM, and I mean, I'm sure this is happening everywhere, but ATM and online banking is still open, but the actual lobbies to the bank, I was actually locked in and they had to let me out, and I had no idea. And the poor girl there gave me I'm like, what's going on? She's like, we're closing everything. And she gave me just this very strange look on her face.
What do you mean they locked you in?
The last thing was,
you were saying you were in the bank and they locked you in?
Yeah, we were actually, I got into the bank at like 11:55, did my transaction at the teller, and I go to leave and both doors are locked, and she had to come run over and let me out. And I'm like, what's up with this? She's like, oh, we're closing all the lobbies.
Okay, but was it because you were there at the very end of the day and from then on it was going to be closed, or did they do it mid through the day? Like, no. After the announcement, they just...
Yeah, it was at noon. Yeah, it was literally at noon. And this is in New Mexico, and apparently it's the norm here now. And which I can't figure out. I mean, the entire state of New Mexico has a smaller population than Phoenix, substantially smaller. I mean, this is the entire state, which is kind of strange. But if anybody looks into our governor, you could probably see why. So...
Weird.
And then the last thing, sorry, I don't want to eat up too much time. I have a friend who's a town over from me, and we're pretty remote where we're at in New Mexico, and we're totally set. But he's a physical therapist, and he actually was contacted today and was told that he had 48 hours to close his business, and he needed to account for whatever PPE he had, and that he was not to use any PPE basically this point forward, meaning like gloves, masks, what have you.
Yeah. Well, what kind of business is he in? He's a what does he do again?
Physical therapy.
Oh, okay. So I don't know why so many of those would have masks, but I guess
they don't have a ton of PPE. Yeah.
But okay. Well, thank you, Deuce.
But you just wanted to know what he had.
No, that's crazy. Thank you for the info, especially about New Mexico. I appreciate that. Definitely call in again, Deuce, and you don't have to worry as far as like saying, don't want to take up too much time. Don't worry about people's comments or anything like that. Just, but yeah, don't say that 4 times because then people start realizing and then they're like, don't worry about it. As far as if there's something of quality in a call, doesn't matter to me. I will keep it going. Okay, here. Hold on. All right. Now we have Carolyn Lowe. You are live on Marfoogle News. What is going on?
Not a whole lot, Marf. Just want to say hi and much love to all the Foogle fam, the Snafu crew out there. We had a pretty interesting conversation the other day. I am actually a patient at the NIH. The doctor that's on TV that's talking to everybody right now was my doctor when I was a little bitty girl. And I asked them what the validity is behind a lot of the info that's going around about prevention and everything else from a standpoint of somebody that's got a really screwed up immune system, and how accurate all of the prevention measures and everything that we're hearing about are. So I spoke with my doctor. She's like 4th in line, under Dr. Fauci. And she told me, all of the info that we have is good. I mean, wash your hands, stay out of public spaces, gargle whenever you get back in with either salt water or vinegar or lemon. If you feel like you've got a cough, baby it basically with, the over-the-counter meds that you need to. Stick with Tylenol and not ibuprofen because that aggravates it.
Why? Yeah. Why is the Tylenol thing?
Go with.
Why does that? Yeah. So by the way, you go to the store, you can see all of the ibuprofen. Not one of them is missing. All of the Tylenol is gone. but you can get Advil or Aleve all day.
Yes.
Why is that? Do you know? They say it aggravates it, but I don't know how.
Ibuprofen actually will irritate your stomach, and in high doses, a lot of people can't tolerate it. And there seems to be some correlation with what they're saying with this can't live in the stomach. And that the reason behind when you're out, if you drink something, try to take a drink of something every so often, about every 10, 15 minutes while you're out if you're around anybody, because it will get it out of your mouth if you've got anything in your mouth, and it'll get it into your stomach where your stomach acid kills it. So my best research would tell me that it's because ibuprofen actually screws up your stomach. And if your stomach is one of the first lines of defense, aside from personal protective equipment and isolation, don't mess with it. You know what I mean?
Basically, the acid kills it, and that's what I've heard as well. So... Yeah. So, I mean, it's all of the info that's in the PSA that I did is all good. It's all accurate. The hand washing, as soon as you come in, decontaminate, take everything off, put it directly in the washer, wash it, and then go in and shower, because this stuff lives not only on the shiny and hard surfaces for, as we're finding out more and more, longer and longer, up to 17 days, it's still alive. So you want to decontaminate right away as soon as you get in. And if you start having a cough, what the parasitic qualities of this virus do is it's creating a pathway directly into your lungs by breaking your immune system down, and then it goes in like a parasite where it has a certain environment it has to live in and replicate in. It's replicating in the lungs. It's creating mucus that basically creates like solidified chains between one piece and the next, and it creates like cement mucus. The biggest thing that they're doing is they're trying to break it up, get it out, and keep the inflammation down. I mean, there's really no treating a virus. You just got to kind of treat the symptoms. So
my friend, in terms of inflammation,
my friend who said that she knows somebody who's working on this whole thing is the reason why this is so bad is it's not just a lower respiratory or an upper respiratory. It's both at the same time. So there is no beating it. It's the entire lungs are getting attacked. So sorry about that.
Exactly. And the reason, one of the things too is if anybody out there has got any family that's had any kind of lung problems or anything like that, that with pneumonia comes scarring. And with the actual pneumonia itself comes the inflammation. And what happens is it causes so much strain on your body to try to fight the inflammation and try to fight the actual pneumonia that it's causing people to have heart problems. So if you've got heart problems existing already, best rule of thumb, any kind of health conditions really, stay away from everybody. Stay in, stay home, stay clean, do what you're doing as far as the decontamination and washing your hands and, obviously not touching your face. But, we've made it through everything so far. We'll make it through this too.
Well, Carolyn Lowe, that's an amazing point. And I pulled up your channel. Make sure to go over and show lots of love to Carolyn Lowe. We can get her to 1,000 easy. Make sure to head over there. Her link is also going to be on our website. In fact, we update the caller info before the end of the show. So this is blank now. By the end of the show, this will actually have Carolyn Lowe, her links, and everything else. Thank you so much, Carolyn Lowe, and I appreciate you much. Much love. Okay, let's see here. We have Toya Harada. Toya Harada, you are live on Marfoogle News.
Oh, how's it going?
Good. So let's see here. I just wanted to make sure I pulled it up. Okay, go for it. Your card is not showing up, so I don't know what's going on here. What would you like to talk about today?
Oh, well, I live in Philadelphia, and we've been like locked down or whatever, the shelter in place kind of deal where they close down everything except for like essential businesses. We've been like this for maybe 10 or 11 days, something like that. And I'm a food delivery guy. I ride a bike in Center City delivering food. So I get the exemption. I'm like one of the personnel that's around. And they sent us paperwork, actually, to show law enforcement if we're ever stopped. So I haven't been stopped, and I do see people out. But downtown, like Center City, Philadelphia, it's creepy how empty it is on, like, the middle of the week. Like a Wednesday, no one's really down there. Or, like, I remember I worked Saturday night, and it's usually, like, slammed. The traffic is crazy. And it was a ghost town. There was only a handful of cars. And I'm talking, like, I don't know if anybody's familiar with Philadelphia, but, like, Broad Market, where City Hall is there, it's like a big loop. There was maybe 5 cars just sitting at the lights. It's really creepy down here, man.
Oh, I know, especially like with that previous video of this guy skateboarding. It shows you like life can change so drastically in a overnight. I mean, that it's been changing every single day, and it doesn't really matter that everybody gets that. You know, we were saying this the whole time, and everybody's like, "Oh, you're a nutso, you're crazy." When it actually happens, now everybody's, you know, it doesn't matter. It's just everybody now understands this. This is probably the worst thing that's ever happened, and it's a very scary thing to see cities just absolutely empty, ghost towns.
Yeah, I'd actually I started kind of getting food and everything together in January, like towards the end of January, just like small stuff, you know what I mean? And I was telling like my brother and a couple of my family members, and they all were kind of looking at me like I was nuts. And then maybe mid-February, they started kind of, you know, taking me seriously, and they all went out and they got everything done. And the Montgomery County is like just north of Philadelphia. That was the first area of Pennsylvania that had been closed down. But that day, like the governor made that announcement, and then that day the stores, it was like a bomb hit. Everything was gone. And as far as the shortages since then, like things are bare, and sometimes you go and like they won't have something you might be looking for, but like it hasn't been like crazy bad since like the initial, all right, we're going to start locking down the different areas. But yeah, well, it's definitely wild, man.
You know, it's
the
funny
vibe out there. I feel like
it was just funny because on the Saturday that we announced our state of emergency, everybody was saying, oh, because I did this video walking down 1.5 miles of cars going into Costco, and somebody says, that's a normal Saturday at Costco. I've been going to everybody said this. I've been going to Costco for 20 years. It's always like that. No, you don't wait in 1.5 miles long. Actually, it was more like 2 miles long line to get into Costco. And you also don't wait 4 hours to walk in the doors of Costco. That's just BS. So people didn't understand. Yeah. Now they do it. And what do we do next? We should have been preparing way, way long ago. And we could have if they told us the truth. It's pretty sad.
Yeah. I mean, I really think they don't want to scare everybody, but I keep telling my dad, he thinks it's going to be over, by Easter and all that. And I'm like, I don't know, man. But, yeah.
Well, if they told us specifically, if they said you're going to be down for 2 weeks exactly, please plan and have 2 weeks of food, period. People would have got that much and that much only. But they didn't tell us the truth. They said, oh, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. So obviously people went the opposite direction, totally panicked, got as much crap as they could, and they weren't buying responsibly. They should have had PSAs like, here's what you should have, 4 cans of this, 5 cans, something. That's what, Russia, out of all the crap they do, not saying that they're great, I'm saying they actually do on TV, on their actual cable news, They tell people how to prepare for nuclear disasters, for this, for that. I mean, it's like fear porn on the regular TV, but they basically say, hey, here's how you prep for a disaster. Here's exactly what you need. Canned milk, this lasts for this long. And I'm thinking everybody should do that. You know what I mean? Should have educated people.
Well, at least, you'll have some kind of idea. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And then people wouldn't be buying stuff they actually won't need, or 40 isopropyl alcohols when that's not going to do you any good. So, well,
actually, I thought the toilet paper thing was like a sick joke. I'm like, these people aren't going to have anything to eat. They won't be using any of the toilet paper. I think that was something the media just made everybody's buying toilet paper, I'll buy it as well. And then, I don't know, that was weird.
It was just dumb. I mean, it was just because of one post that went viral, and then everybody, it's once you put the seed of doubt in the back of people's head, it just goes crazy. Well, thank you, Toyo Harada. I appreciate you calling in, and I hope you call in again, okay?
Yeah, thanks a lot for taking me. You guys take care.
All right, you have a good night. MD Moses, thank you, says Psalm 91. Psalms 91 has been shared more than any other Bible verse lately. That's what my aunt told me before all of this went down. She says, just because I was freaking out, she told me Psalms 91. So thank you. Love you. Love you, Auntie. Kelly2334, she actually watches the show before she goes to bed. She's my favorite aunt. And I'm only saying that because my other aunts don't watch. Star, thank you for what you're doing and what you do. Peace. Thank you. Thank you guys for supporting what we do. Drive-through pranking. Amy, Mini70, says drive-through banking in New Hampshire closed too. What? So there's no... I thought when they were saying the lobby was closed that drive-through is still open. Like, they have to do drive-through. How would that even work? Kelly2334, Green Ace, unless they changed the ATMs to work that way. Amy, thank you so much again for supporting. I appreciate you guys are absolutely amazing. I've got a lot of stuff coming for you guys. I'm serious, for the top contributors. Thank you guys. I appreciate you. I appreciate everyone, but you guys have literally gotten through us a really tough time. Kelly2334, thank you. The Riot72, thank you. Kelly2334 again. Dig Sig Sour, thank you. I appreciate that. One Love. Tower Bear. Wow, awesome. I'm told to keep working till I get the virus. I have a form from Homeland as to show if I'm stopped. Oh, from Homeland Security. So you're told to keep working. I would love to know what kind of essential it is, if you can. And thank you for the Ninja Guinea. That's huge. And Tama Elia, thanks to all the mods, Dex, and Marf. Miss Marf too, and anyone else I may have missed. Thank you, Marfia Tamililia. Skunked Out, thank you. Silent Sentry, Main Watcher, Illwill04, Serenity PA, Snafu Snaps, D Munoz 08. Don't forget Truth Stream Media. I will check it out for sure. Debbie Jordan, you're the #1 news source of truth we all have. Well, hopefully it will last. We are living 12 monkeys. Actually, no, we are living Contagion. If you have not seen that video yet, watch it. It was put together by experts, and it almost looks like they stole the script for this. And I'm not saying it's kind of like it. It's almost exact. Ask anyone in the chat right now. If you've seen Contagion, put in the chat how close to reality it is, at least up until day 6 of what they say that's going on. So people doing hand sanitizer. Oh my gosh. It even has a character, which, by the way, I want to say, I accidentally said I was about a third away through the movie, and Jude Law is a blogger. Jude Law plays the guy that's a blogger, and he writes about this stuff. And I tweeted before I realized the end. I said, I'm even portrayed in this movie by Jude Law. And then I kept watching, and apparently he was selling a fake cure or whatever. I don't know if it was actually fake. By the end of the movie, you think maybe it wasn't. but he was more like an Alex Jones, and it was just so crazy. 9 years later, Alex Jones has Attorney General Barr essentially saying she's going to sue him if he keeps saying he has the, cure for it or whatever. Just thought it was so weird. That movie is so close. I thought Outbreak was close, and then I saw Contagion. Contagion, they are literally renaming it CV, the name of it, 2020 for Uganda theaters. No joke. Uganda theaters are renaming Contagion from 2011 CV 2020 because it's that close, down to the bats. Oh, watch it. You're going to flip. You are going to flip. This is a phone. You're literally going to go. That's what you're going to do. This is you. This is your body. That's you flipping and going cross-eyed. Telling you. Okay, I'm not done. What's scary is where the experts, because they have experts on these big budget films, say we're going next. But there is a happy ending. Sort of. Stormy7572, thanks Adam and Dex mods for all you do. Tower Bear, I build cell towers. Oh, wow. And you guys are still essential. I get that. Yes, actually, I get that. Hopefully not 5G towers. Daniel7777, Tower Bear, thank you again. I appreciate that. Grace for you too. God bless you all. Love your Twitter content and check your DMs. Stormy, I will. Maybe you can actually put what your name is there. I think it's Stormy. I'm pretty sure. But there's actually multiple Stormies. I know you here because of 7572. Number 2 pencil, Ginger Grin, Somebody Special, Samaria Sakatase, NWO on the rise. Whoa! Thank you for the Ninjagini. Don't roll up on me too quick. Watch 12 Monkeys at Truth Stream Media, please. I will. I've seen 12 Monkeys with Brad Pitt, I think, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Contagion has even, it's crazier. Miss Cortana, I think I missed you earlier. Thank you so much for your support. I appreciate you. Grace for you too. Love the Foogle fam. Another Ninjagini. Gosh, you guys, seriously, thank you for supporting us. We appreciate it. And just blown away. Thank you guys. Okay, so Dex, are you there?
Hey, Adam, can you hear me?
Yes, I'm going to take this. Hold on. Let's see here. Oh, we got Snafu Snaps. Snafu, you are live on Marfoogle News.
Oh, my man. By the way, that hat is rocking, dude. I like that hat you got on.
Well, you know, there's nobody cutting hair, so my hair is just like uncontrollable.
Oh, man, got to get a barber up in the food house.
You know,
Miss Marv, you gonna let her cut your hair?
I cannot stand long hair, and I like having it, fresh cut every 2 weeks. And we do have the supplies. And she said, "Yeah, I can do it." And I said, "Yeah, I can wait." And but I'm going to let her. I'm gonna. I don't know. I am so picky about haircuts. I've just gotten so many bad haircuts. Once I found somebody, I just went with it. But anyways,
no, I get it. That's your barber, man.
Yeah, it's a Columbia hat.
I just want to say thanks again, man, for what you do, because you provide a platform where we could be real serious about the optics we're seeing, but you also give us a chance to laugh and do other things with the family you've created. And in the times we're in, I know there's a lot of heaviness right now because we do see what's going on. But thank you for creating what you've created with the Foogle fam and just everyone, because we do have each other to lie on and talk about some of the things and laugh and joke. And so thank you for one before I get going.
Oh, no problem. And by the way, you know what sucks about this too? This hat and everything I always get, like my old NBA shirt, I get everything at the thrift stores. The thrift stores are now closed, so you can't get clothes and stuff like this.
Everything. Yeah. It's intense. It's intense.
So now
I'll tell you what.
By the way, I want to do a special show over on when I do my D-Live show. I want you to call in and talk about kind of some of the censorship and stuff. We'll save that for another show. I would love to come on your show as well. I know that you're doing a project. I'll make sure to come over and help you out on that.
I appreciate it.
So what are they doing local? Real. What are they doing over there?
What are they doing? I'm sorry, say that again, you cut out.
What are they doing local where you live?
Man, I'll tell you what, locally, everything is shutting down pretty much just like everyone else for the most part. The biggest one was big events because I'm in the Phoenix area. So, they have a lot of like events like wrestling comes out here, or a lot of baseball, like tons of baseball out here, and concerts and things like that. So they got that kind of handled. The bar scene, because Arizona is one of those counties or states that they're letting because they're letting it go state-wise, like who gets to choose what they do with their counties and this and that. So half of Arizona is shut down, and then certain halves are still open. It's still kind of crazy on that aspect.
Well, and everything that's going on as it happens, it's changing by the hour. And, people, they say, oh, we'll be open by Easter. But then the next day, well, I did say that, but now things have changed and now it's going to have to be November. I mean, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if we heard a date 3 months out. If you look at Italy, if you look at all the cases, and then the fact that China is not leveling out, they say it is, but it's not. That's scary to me.
Right.
So that means this could go much longer.
And again, like with that sister, right, and with that thing that we'll talk about down the road, like I said, China's not too happy. There's a lot of weird optics going on, but the fact is day by day, these things are picking up. The movements are picking up. You've been covering it since you started your channel, and now we're seeing it at a faster pace. And it truly is amazing and crazy, and we're all in this together. So. But the fact is in state-wise, like I said, right now we're just seeing the states, at least my state, half of the town is shut off, half of it's not. One of the questions I brought up is I know some people who do like Lyft and Uber, and, I was like, have they shut you guys down yet, or given you guys like special permits to drive, in towns, like you're starting to see? Because we've seen some ones with Kroger. We've seen some hospital people I've actually talked to have told me they're starting to have to sign waivers in order to, continue their job. A lot of people are waiting on this stimulus money, but a lot of people are talking about how it could go digital very soon. And, some of us who are religious know the mark, and just, I don't know, the optics are so high, man. I always say NWO minus Hulk Hogan, but the truth is we are riding this wave together, and I appreciate what you've built because we could be very serious about what's going on. Like I said, when you come over and talk about that, or when we talk about it, we can get into it. They may shut me down that minute, but the fact is all this other stuff, everyone's just going through these emotions at one time, and it truly is historic.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is the only thing I worry about is what is worse than the virus. What is really going on behind this? Is there an ulterior motive behind it? It just seems like they're prepping the coastlines, especially the coastlines, New York, Florida, here, and again, Florida is next. Like all of the coastlines on both sides are getting this kind of treatment. So
the warships. I mean, they said the warships that are carrying supplies for hospitals. I mean, they did set the medical field hospitals in Florida already. So, I mean, they're on the ground. Boots are on the ground. They're tinted up. They're ready to go. And also, like you said, they're placing strategic things out on their coast. So, I mean, it is very interesting. The optics are high. And like I said, China's not very happy with us, as well as other countries. I'm just going to say it at that.
Well, one thing I thought was weird, too, is you don't hear Xi Jinping coming out and saying things. I haven't seen a video of him saying, this is this is that. It's just weird to me. Like, what is really going on here?
Right.
But anyways.
The thing that I covered, Adam, that I was worried about trying to get out there, whether you believe in Q or not, it was amazing, dude. I was worried about how to get this out there. I was like, oh, man, and then next thing you know, Q, whether you believe it or not, posted what I kind of got hit for, the story I was like tapping on with some of the other family members. Like I said, it goes pretty deep, like especially when you look at some of the things that have happened that they're not fully talking about, but they are. And yeah, the optics are high, my friend.
And I'll make sure to show your channel. Snaps was talking about a certain subject, and then all of a sudden which this is an awesome way to get people over to you. You should go listen to what he was talking about. All of a sudden now he's not, it doesn't show when he's live, these kind of things. It doesn't have the red circle around, even though he is, and it's just really weird. But yeah, this is his channel right here. Make sure to go check him out. His name is Snafu Snaps. He's almost to 4,000 subscribers. In fact, we could get him to 4,000 today if you guys were generous with your time. Again, right here, there's all sorts of weird stuff going on. Snaps, I appreciate you being in the family. You are ride or die kind of guy, so I appreciate having you around. And again, look out for your family members. Look out for the people around. If you have local group members, look out for them. Again, thank you.
Well, thank you, brother. Like I said, we wouldn't even exist, the crew, if it wasn't for Foogle fam. We're always Foogle strong. And just know, dude, like I said, man, the hat rocks. One of these days I'm going to get you on Cup Wars, dude. We need to have some good stuff. You're the one who recommended to me this. Even though we're going through some crazy times, guys, we still are Foogle strong. We could have fun. And so, I'm officially challenging you to Cup Wars one of these days, man. We have to get it on and rock it.
All right, let's do it, man. You have a good night. Be safe. Be prepared.
All right, let's do it.
And Marf out. Oh, man. Tower Bear 5G equipment is being installed on cell towers. I believe it, and I've seen videos. Not Childhood Sky, a few others too have been posting that. Adam, chat is asking for caller Hazley Dreamer. Unfortunately, that's not how our caller system works. Again, I've had many times where we have a system here, and that's to be fair to everybody. Zippy Moons. Thank you so much, Zippy Moons. Again, all of you, that's essentially a Ninja Genie. And then, boom, whoa, Zippy Moons. Peace be with us all. Let our hearts not be troubled. Prayers for the Marfia and Marf and Dex. Thank you, Zippy Moons. Thank you guys all. Thank everybody. It's not a one-man bandstand, so I appreciate all of your support. I know Dex does too. Rebel Yell. Stormy7572, Dex, love your Twitter content too. I love it. Don't leave him out. He's half the show. We want to get the video part. We want to switch it up. But I mean, everything paused when all of this happened. Stormy Weather. See, there's the other Stormy. Stormy says, watch Netflix series Containment, even closer to our reality now. You'll suck in your breath. So I do think that one. The first episode was kind of hard to get through for me. That the main character guy with his girlfriend, like, oh, we've tried to move in 3 times and you're just backing out. The acting was bad, but when you see the scenario, I completely get what you're saying. But as far as watch Containment, but watch Contagion, because Contagion is so realistic about the social distancing, the sanitizing, the CV, the actual thing being used, the letting the Congress get out of it before you let everybody know. They said all of this to the T. See, that's the one thing that gets me about it. They're even in that video, I know that they got like the best experts to say kind of what might happen, right? Or that's what they'll say, right? But literally the other stuff, like, the experts said, oh, yeah, they would definitely give Congress a secret briefing, and then the Congress would get their money out of the stocks before they told everybody. They expected that 9 years ago? That's creepy. I get it, but I don't. Moon Phase, I appreciate you. JStone78, my most amazing mod. Thank you. You guys are amazing. You guys don't have to do anything, and you do. Thank you guys for all of you that share our stuff. Soli's King, I know Dano. Teddy Guns, thank you for following. Everybody that has followed recently. Soli's King, I appreciate all of you new follows. Mosquitoes, Butterflies, M. Menching, things are getting outright strange. M. Menching, you have amazing point there. Dex is great. He's the man behind the scenes. Yes, and we're trying to bring him to the front and center. Trust me, he's a good man, period. So make sure to check out his channel too, Dex J.
Thank you, Adam. Hey, Adam.
Yeah.
While I have you, did you hear about the 2 famous people that mysteriously got the CV?
What's the first name?
The first name will be Harvey.
Oh my gosh, are you kidding?
In isolation.
No way.
Yeah. And the second one is the heir to the throne of England.
Prince Charles.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Prince Charles says that he's positive, but doing well.
Makes you wonder, doesn't it?
How did they get to these guys, though? That's what's...
I believe everybody's been, and I haven't followed this one up, but I believe the Queen nobody's seen her for a long time now. She's either in hiding or isolation or something.
No, the last shot of her was in that protected kind of the beast kind of presidential protection, whatever that is. They drive that special car, whatever it is. It's old school, but it's like bulletproof, all that. She was riding out of that, and that's when I made that meme, basically, with Jack Nicholson's face and said she was out of there. She was taken to a secure location. Somebody said that she was at some sort of island. But Prince Charles getting it, that's... You would think maybe they didn't take it serious. I don't know. I don't know what the deal with this. There's so much confusing stuff going on right now. That doesn't make sense. All these celebrities, we're going to do an episode only over here on D Live coming up in the next couple days. I mean, we've got to do everything in the next couple days. I don't know how long internet infrastructure is going to go with everybody on it. And streaming, maybe streaming will stop, but regular websites won't. I don't know. We'll be blogging on our website if the streaming isn't possible. But I'm going to do an episode talking about the celebrities and kind of their signaling and all the weird stuff. Very weird stuff. I mean, very weird. Rita Wilson, the wife of Tom Hanks, put out her real number and said, text me, and said, oh, text me so I can tell you about things that maybe tell you about things before they happen. Literally saying it like that. Saying it's really
that
me.
One out.
What is it?
Okay, so it's still kind of creepy. So there's a company in LA that's trying to create their own version of a private social network, and they're basically creating a phone number, a private number for a celebrity. The celebrity gives out that number, and everyone texts them, and then the celebrity can blast text back to people. Like, I don't think you're ever going to really get a personal text back from Rita Wilson, but millions of people are going to text her, and she's going to have everybody's phone number. And then she can, basically put out her own updates without being influenced by social media. If, Twitter wants to take her down, she can still use this. It's sort of like a backup.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Creepy, huh? And it's not just her. Celebrities everywhere are doing it. A lot of them. You'll start to see them now. You'll see these celebrities put up a phone number, and you think it's their phone number. It's not. It's just a honeypot to get your phone number so that they can blast you.
Wow, that's dirty. Somebody should call her out on that crap. Ed Bennett from Edge of Wonder called that out. Now that I know what it is, that's less creepy, I guess, and more creepy at the same time. There was a lot of weird stuff. These guys just... It's so weird. We're going to go over it, and it's going to be the funnest episode we have ever done because it is going to be all celebrities and their weirdness. I guarantee you. It's going to be Marfoogle goodness. Thank you for all of the supporters tonight. Just to pull up, I am honestly in disbelief of what's going on right now. Yeah, I don't get people that don't even normally have money. They're giving money away too. Lift the Veil is on. Let's see. Yeah, we can drop him a host afterwards. He's talking about all this stuff. Actually, American Joe is still trying to get his legs on, and he's got his Soldiers for Christ show going. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, I just disbelief about some of this stuff going on. A Soldiers for Christ show going. Boom.
Okay, let's see. Bones, what is going on? I didn't even see you here tonight. April Osborne, Phil Billy, what is going on, all of you guys that are here? Thank you to my loyal mods, CJ Blaze, JStone78. By the way, mods are mods for a reason. They're mods because they've been here for a year. They show up at every show. You know, I talk to a lot of the mods on a regular basis. If they have kicked you out, if they have banned you, which there is a couple of new mods that just recently got added to DLive, to all the mods, we give everybody usually 3 chances. And then, you know, I ask everybody to try to take screenshots just in case. And then if somebody goes, we can go back to it and say, oh, this is why. Either way, we don't make fun of people. We don't say anything about the callers, like next or this or that. That's what gets you banned. Or talking about other creators in the chat. That's rude. We don't talk about anybody, even if they're talking crap about us, doing a video with my name in the title, saying I'm peeing on his head. Doesn't matter. We keep it clean and we make sure to only push positive stuff up and push negative stuff down. So that's how we roll here. Thank you for all the Mafia badges. Thank you guys. That physically helps us. That financially helps us. Everything that you guys have done has helped us. We just hit 14,000 followers on DLive. That is absolutely amazing.
Wow.
That's crazy, isn't it?
That is incredible. Yeah. Adam, one last thing, man. I just got my lockdown orders.
What?
Yep, just now.
Georgia?
No, my county. But it's the same orders everyone has, so they wrote a law in for it.
I told you, it's going to be every state. Doesn't matter, because one state can't go, oh, well, we get to go free, because then they'll say somebody traveled there. Amy R, a.k.a. Mini70, thank you for being our top contributor tonight. Tower Bear, thank you for being our second top contributor. Stormy Weather, thank you for being our third top contributor. Zippy Moons, Tamamilia, thank you all for being actually 3. You guys are all tied for 3rd place. That's pretty cool. Stormy Weather, Zippy Moons, and Tamilia. This month, of course, Carol Palmer takes number 1. Thank you guys. All of you are my number 1. Mini70, number 2. Pat Leading Fox, which even if, you know, by the way, some people that support a lot, if you can't support, don't not show up. I've actually had emails like people saying, I don't want to come in because I'm always coming in and supporting. You don't have to. Just come in and talk. I hate that when people don't come because they can't support or whatever. You don't have to support ever. You're here no matter what. Sharing my stuff is what I really want you guys to do. Obviously, financial help is great, but it's not required. It never has been. To clarify, a lot of people freaked out when I did a private Patreon stream. The private Patreon streams that we're doing are to basically for the people that have been on Patreon for 2 years. We're hanging out. It's not secret info. I'll never put secret info behind a paywall ever. But what we will do is if you want to get to know me, like we're going to have my wife on there. We're going to have our kids. We can't, you know, that kind of stuff we can't do on the platforms. So again, don't join Patreon if you don't want to like get to know me outside the show. If you're there for secret info, that's not what it's for. It's for people that really want to know me and care about me outside of this platform. So that's why we're doing private streams over there. It's not to be like, hey, let's bug out while everybody's sitting there. No, that's through Marfoogle Alerts, which is free. Discord is free. Everything that we do is free. I had like 100 comments like, yeah, you know, you're asking people to pay. No, I've never asked anybody to pay, ever. For the people that do help this channel go, people don't understand. It takes money to actually do all this stuff. Our website has so much traffic, we've had to change providers 3 times. That costs money. And it's unbelievable how much it costs when you get a certain amount of visitors and a certain amount of visitors. Dex, wouldn't you say?
Yes, as the person who has to manage that, yes. And we've moved it numerous times. Thank you to the fam. You guys are so awesome. Thanks for coming to the website. Keep coming to the website. It's our pleasure to make sure that we keep it up and running.
But basically, they threatened to kick us off. Basically, they did. And they charged us like some overage charge of $1,000 or something and said, here's the thing. He luckily got that reversed. But then they said, well, the other option is in 2 weeks, you have to find another provider because of how much people are coming. I didn't realize how that kind of stuff worked before we did this. So it is so much money to run our website, this and that, because of how many people come, which seems stupid to me. It's like 1 or 10,000. I thought it would be the same, but it's not. We are trying to get programs together to help everybody. We want you guys to make sure to use our Discord for the best. Help people, help disabled, help handicapped, look out for them, be safe doing it, wear whatever gear you can, sanitize stuff, maybe hand somebody some groceries in a Lysol can. You know, if you are well off or if you don't need right now, make sure to help somebody else. Help somebody in your family. Give them $20. $20 might be the difference of a milk for a week or no milk for a week. So, all right, love you guys. I hope all of you are safe, sound, and Marfoogle. Awesome on Rip Curl. Thank you so much. Rip Curl is awesome. Mod, thank you guys. Love you. Be safe. Be prepared. Enchanted by you, gonna go back and buy you. Rip Curl and Shastina, gonna bring it back around again. With that silent century rolling on down, and you gotta love the sax, nationalistic, and one more mom, one more mom, one more mom. Hello to my friends, lovely starts and the rest, 420 digital radio, Thunderbird 36 and the rest of y'all. By the way, make sure that you guys check out our website, marfooglenews.com, where we have every single article that you've seen here today. I'm going to make sure to say goodnight to you in style with a shoutro. It's not a shout-out. It's not an outro. It is a shoutro. And proud grandma gotta go rolling through. You know that we've got to do what we do, and the baby giddy too, and the PHX breeze and the enchanted by you. This is the way, yabba dabba, sexy W West with the Philly, and everyone knows that we gotta go with Mr. Feeling Voiced. I'm feeling voiced, I'm feeling moist, for feeling voiced. Hey, the Riot 72. Ooh. More cowbells are coming soon.
with the help from Cheryl L. from Daytona. Chance Paladin is, of course, our luckiest follower tonight. Proud Grandma, Nationalistic, Dr. Rail, and Channel Jammer. You are our most loyal chatters. Jojo, I like me for me, 1, 2, 3, and April Osborne, one without the 2, 3, and the Channel Jammer, and the Slingshot, 7, 7, 7, 7. Dragon Girly and the Thunderbird 36 and the Dex Jack. Chicago artist gotta go by, flying by with Tedessa on the wing and the subliminal red pill. And Saint Mike gotta go for real. Southern girl with the rebel yell on their side, and it looks like the Eye of Sauron with that Zach Kane rolling down, and they might be smoking that crown. If they haven't, then they have done something wrong. Just kidding, Ginger Grinton. Gotta see that somebody special is that Stormy 7572 and Serenity PA. William Dunham, Carrie S. Earthworm Jim, hey Rapid Geek, hey Catley 2334. This is the way. The Moon Phase 5, Tee It Up Bear, and the Patch 1975 with the MD Moses. Gotta go down and we go closing, 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 closing. Oh, yeah, Stewie, gotta bring it back now. With the Steve 84G Dragon Girly Go. With the Carolyn Low 78 and the Riot 72. Able body, and that adds a little power. Gotta go break Josie. With the Grey Hat Ace. Gotta go with the 40 McNuggets, Bushel and Pack. Gotta get the Mary Shop. Gonna go back with everyone gas, electric. Earthworm Jim and Chicago got to go. Keeps on digging, keeps on digging, digging, digging. I gotta bring it back now. Oh, now you know.
Now you know. With the proud grandma, check the wall, Dex J, and the GD, Big 6 Hour. All about to go out in an hour and get my whisker biscuit and the enchanted bayou right next to you. Or maybe it was C, doesn't matter if it ends with Snapper B and the CK, Freddy T, Brendan, Phoenix, esoteric visions in that sky, and we clearing. For the rest of the sky, we'll be bringing down that hail and the darkness sky. Heaven's calling, thank you for the ice cream and the rest of that with W.S. Park's party. Hanging out with Villain Voice and the rest of the starring people going out with the JRL or supplying the
love, gotta bring it to right to with the right hit. 72, Lindsay, Barefoot Lass, bringing it back, taking name bang, kicking ass. Jesse Lynn, Minnesota man, 44, never gonna take it with the women in the Bay Wink, and the J Winch, and the Blue Daisy with the nationalistic roll. Gotta bring it like it adds a little pop. Gotta say it like I never said pop. Not daddy, not love, not going back around like a moon phase 5. Oh.
Earthworm Jim, gonna bring it back and we never wanna say. Kelly 2, 3, 3, 4, and I love you. Gotta get the nausea, 9 on the head. Swivel, swivel, gotta bring it back like trouble with tribbles. This ain't Star Trek, and I'm not Worf, but I would be saying this ain't a good day to die. Today is not a good day to die.
to be the next one. 3, Timmy. Timmy.
Hey Blondie, Random Steve, and Kelly, 2-3, Cassie Sparks, and Moon. Faye's gotta bring it back like ooh.
Yeah. Gonna bring it back like ooh.
Hey with the ginger grin, a 75, 7-2, stormy Mr. Lee Senior, Chicago artists and the arena. Gotta bring that T-Prada back to the start and walk for life. JK Half, Jason 78 and Jab Jab. Proud Grandma gonna bring it back with the Moonface 5. Gonna bring back and we're gonna be born to fight with the Sandman and that one. Slingshot, oh no, oh. Smoky Mountain Gal and the Alice Cat gonna bring it right on back. Hempin' ain't easy and neither is ginger green, and now we gonna greasy. Used to be my dad with the talks, never a Chicago artist and Jen B. Cox. Gotta bring Random Steve, and he's not Steve on my couch and me. Belly, ginger grin, Random Steve and Lindsay Ben. Gonna go down to the stall, maybe it's not open tomorrow. Hey there, Crystal, Virgo, and that Smoky Mountain Gal. Gonna go down with one love and slingshot my pal. Gonna go chill, gotta be calm, no panic, and I'm getting that bomb. Going down to the store, and I just gotta keep digging for more. With that wooflin', PHX gonna bring it back now. No checks, not for the Americans, unless they pass that. Oh wait, they pass that. Where's our money? I'm JG Wentworth. Where's my money? I want it. I want it. I want that money, and I want it now. It's my money, and I want it now. It's my money, and I want it now. JG Wentworth is in my pie. It's my money, I want it now. It's my money, and I want it now. Amy R, aka Minnie 70, thank you so much for your support. Zippy moose, tower bear, stormy weather. Definitely I'm gonna go. Wanna see you at the Raw. Hero Plumber 512 and a potly eating fox. Jimmy, you a howling. Kelly 2334. All time got you going back. Carol Palmer and Mindy 70. Gonna bring it right on back. Pat leading Fox and the lady. GT476 and lady Jamie Lynn. Oh, 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 oh. Much love. Thank you for watching. This has been a Marfoogle News production. Have a good night. Be safe, be prepared, and here's how to join our Discord.
You want to know what's going on? What's really going on when it happens? Go to marfooglenews.com and get Marfoogle alerts along with a Discord invitation where you can find your local state group and get together with the Foogle fam. You'll find fast friends where you'll share prep and intel, and there's even special groups for former and current military. But don't try and steal the valor of those who have really served. It won't go well for you. The Marfoogle fam is waiting for you.